The second book review I have for you today is The Perfect Place to Die by Bryce Moore. This is about a girl whose sister goes missing in Chicago during the World's Fair, or Columbian Exposition is what it's actually called. But everyone just calls it the Chicago's World's Fair. And she finds out that her sister was a maid in H.H. Holmes's famous murder castle. And it kind of goes from there. So yeah, I kind of liked this book. I mean, everyone knows the legend of H.H. Holmes and his famous murder castle in Chicago, and I really liked it. But at the same time, I was listening to a book about H.H. Holmes, and like I said, everyone knows the legend of H.H. Holmes and his murder castle and killing during the Chicago World's Fair, because you can kill a bunch of tourists and people are never gonna come looking for that person because they'll think, oh, they just, moved away or whatever. But there's no actual evidence to suggest that the murder castle was a murder castle. He was convicted of like at least 9 deaths, I believe, if I remember correctly from the audiobook I was listening to. And I was like, it kind of ruined it for me because I was like, oh, so that's completely made up? Like, that never happened? And basically the only reason we know this different legend, the legend of H.H. Holmes, is like wires got crossed during, in certain newspaper articles and stuff like that. So there's no actual evidence that H.H. Holmes had a murder castle. So that kind of ruined it for me. But I think that this would work much better as a film. Because there was like the final fight scene between her and H.H. Holmes was very thematic, and I was like, ooh, I would love to see this on the big screen. Yeah. It's one of those books that it doesn't really have a love interest. There is a boy in it that seems like he kind of has a thing for her, but then he doesn't really have a thing for her. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, like if he was supposed to be a love interest and then the author changed his mind or what. But I was like, these two people, I could see them being together, but like it's not built upon. They're basically just friends and stuff like that. It is classified as like a horror, mystery, thriller, YA. I don't really do mystery thrillers. I don't really find them that interesting, really. Because I find like sometimes they can be very formulaic and I see things coming and I want to be like surprised. But yeah, I was like, I liked the horror elements, like talking about the visions that she's having of her dead sister and the people who have been murdered in this murder castle, supposedly. So yeah, that's it. I don't really have much to say about this. It was kind of disappointing, because I was really interested in it, and then I listened to that audiobook and I kind of ruined it. So I just ruined it for you now too. So you get to suffer with me. So yeah, that is my review for The Perfect Place to Die by Bryce Moore, and I will see you guys later. Bye!